Hello, this is Brian Tessier of Brian Sells Pittsburgh, and welcome to this installment of the Brian Sells Pittsburgh experience. Today, I'm just going to give you a general overview of what it takes to go through the motions of purchasing a home. Now, the first thing a purchaser needs to do is find out what they qualify for mortgage-wise, assuming they're going to take out a mortgage. What this means is not only the largest amount, but a qualified realtor such as myself and or a lender will let you know at a certain interest rate and a certain purchase price with taxes and all that included what the closing costs will be and what your monthly payment will be. Now we want to make sure you're comfortable with that amount before we go home shopping. A lot of times people contact me and want me to go out and show them a bunch of homes without getting pre-qualified, when this just leads to disaster. You may have qualified for more, or you may have qualified for less. And in today's society, most sellers require that all buyers are pre-qualified that come through with an agent. So you really want to put the horse before the cart, and that is getting pre-approved. Any qualified realtor will have at least 3 resources they can refer you to. So now you're pre-qualified, you're pre-approved. What do we do now, Brian? What you're going to do now is all my buyers give me a list of criteria, and I set them up on a free automated MLS search. The criteria I look for is what's your minimum number of bedrooms, your areas of interest you want me to set the search up. I usually search by school district, whether you have children or not. There's 3 different ways you could search: by city, which is really specific; by county, which is really broad; and by school district, which is a nice general combination of both of those previous searches. So school district seems to work the best. And type of property. I mean, do you want a duplex, triplex, freestanding single family home, townhouse, condo, or any combination of those at all? Once I get that search set up, it's going to email you out a link to a custom-made web page for you to review. The first search is going to have the most properties. Maybe it's 300 properties for you to look at. Now, anytime an agent puts a property on the market that meets that criteria, the second that agent lists that property, it's going to automatically get emailed out to you. This gives you an advantage, Mr. and Mrs. Home Buyer, working with an agent set up on the search over people that do not have an agent set up, an agent set them up on a search. If you're going out to Realtor.com, you're going out to Zillow.com, Remax.com, Trulia.com, you have to wait for those websites to pull that information from the MLS. And I'm going to tell you now, the MLS is the mother, is God of all real estate websites. Every other real estate website underneath us that has property listed with a broker, somehow, some way gets them from the MLS. So if you give me the criteria, you're not going to find anything that's active on the market that is not on the MLS, because it all comes from the MLS. Many times people are specific in their search and not getting a lot of results, and they're out there sending me MLS numbers from Zillow and Trulia and all that, and I go look them up and I tell them it's contingent or it's under contract or it's sold, whatever. So the MLS search I have you set up on will be the highest and best. After you look at all the properties, you're going to send me a short list. Short list is however many properties you feel like you're interested in looking at. Send me the 6-digit MLS numbers. Also a date and time when you're available. I will call all the listing agents, set up a route, set up our appointments. We will meet at the first property and we will tour all the properties. This may only happen one time. This may happen 5 times, doing 10 properties each, doing a total of 50 properties. There's no way to tell. Once you find a property you like, what we'll do is I will pull comparables that have sold in the last 6 months and email them to you so you can see. We always look at sold properties, not active on market properties, for comparables. We want to know what things have sold in that range. We will look over the seller's disclosures, which is a 7-page document that the sellers are required to fill out when they list their property. Problems they've had during their ownership, remedies they've had to those problems, etc. And if you have any questions on the seller's disclosures, you let me know. I get the answers from the agent. And then once we're comfortable and we go to write up the offer, we sign that seller's disclosures. There will also be hand money. I have a video on YouTube about that. Pre-approval letter will be required, and we have to write up the offer. I will go over the offer with you as we are in the last property that you're interested in. We can discuss it over the phone. We can meet in my office, whatever. But ultimately, I will fill out the offer, and I will email it to you via DocuSign for electronic signatures. You could digitally sign this right on your phone, and I've had people do it while they were on vacation in Alaska. I had a doctor doing an internship in a different country over in Africa, and he was able to sign the offer. It's fantastic. I've had people sitting in my office, we didn't even want to print it out, they just signed it on their phones. So I make the process extremely easy and minimally invasive to you, so you can continue on your life. Once we get the offer to them, we will negotiate the price back and forth, probably verbally or via text or via email. Once we get the final numbers agreed upon verbally, I will then get them on writing and send them out to you, the updated pages, Mr. or Mrs. Home buyer. You will digitally sign them. I'll get them over to the seller. The seller's agent will get them to sign it. Once I get it back in my possession, we have what's called a fully executed agreement. From there, we will have 10 days to get our home pest and radon inspection and any other inspections we might want done on the property. And we also, within that 10 days, get the inspection done, and we get our demands or our requests for repairs over to the seller. That's another point of negotiation. They may want to fix everything. They may want to fix nothing. They may want to give you a credit and just make it all go away. Every transaction is different. Once we clear that inspection hurdle, it's pretty much left up to the buyers and the lender. You would have already selected your lender by now. You want to kind of do that right away, because we have to get the lender has to get an appraisal ordered as well, and the appraiser is blindly picked, so we have no control over that. Once the property hopefully appraises, then we just you move forward with your lender. They will contact you about what information they need, tax returns, pay stubs, etc. And then the closing company will also be doing their thing, so they will get us the final numbers a couple days before closing. But you will have a pretty good estimation of what you need to bring to closing right up front from your lender and myself. Now that is, you see it took 7 minutes. That is just an overview. There are a lot more details. I'm not going to get into all the details because this video could be 2 hours long. And also, I don't want to overload you. I just want to give you an overview, so to speak, just some of the general guidelines of the process, because I'm asked all the time, what is the process? That is the general process. Once we get in the process involved, I will go over with you step by step as it occurs, instead of trying to load you all down with the process right up front. That's why you want to make sure you have a good realtor. That's one of the reasons why I'm the most reviewed realtor in Pittsburgh, is because I go over those steps with you as they come, educate you with the process, and I have your best interest in mind. And that's what you really want to make sure, is your agent has your best interest in mind and not their best interest. That is it for purchasing a home in the city of Pittsburgh. Brian Sells Pittsburgh, 412-901-7522 with Remax Advanced Realtors. Give me a call and let's go home shopping.